This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
G'day, Shaun McManus here. On February 24, I'm doing my first ever solo swim in this year's Rotto swim. It's a 19.7k open water swim from Cop Beach to Rottnest Island. That's, of course, if you go on a straight line. This is my road to Rottnest.
Shauny Mac.
Ross.
Road to Rottnest. We got a lot. So this was obviously pegged to be the episode where we go through the whole race and how you felt and the victory of it all and the satisfaction. But as we know, that wasn't the case. And there, I feel like there is a bit of a happy ending to this. Hopefully we'll get to that in a sec. But let's just go through it. Let's go through race day from Shaun McManus's perspective.
Well, I got up. I didn't sleep too badly. Can I say the 2 days leading up to it, I felt like I was getting sick.
Oh.
And one of my kids in my house had a bit of a head cold. And I think maybe, Ross, they're putting the pressure on myself to be able to deliver. And again, because I'm a novice, I don't know what was ahead of me. And I know a lot of people saying, you smash it, you'll do this, and, you know, I love it, and blah, 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 and you'll be absolutely fine. It was the unknown. So anyway, leading up to those days, the Thursday when I came in here to work, I honestly thought, that's it. I've got this fucking flu. I'm gone. I felt so shithouse. But I think it was the worry, anxiety, stress.
Yep.
As it turns out, though, Friday, my friends came over and we found ourselves pretty busy. I was worried that I was too busy. And eventually when I went to bed and woke up Saturday morning, I woke up, I don't know, whatever time. I woke up about 3 and I knew I wasn't sick.
That's good.
So in my mind, okay, I'm okay for this.
Yep.
And then I eventually got out of bed, I think at 4, started stretching. And it was all going my household. Everyone was getting ready.
Yep.
We were packed. We were ready to go. I was just getting all my food and drinks ready. Just final instructions. Put on my swimsuit, which was like putting on a superhero's outfit, I'd imagine.
I saw the photo of you with Roger Cook. Looked very fitting.
Yeah, it was. It was bloody. It took a while to get on, actually. Bloody tight as all get up. And yeah, got down there and it became super real.
Yeah.
Super real.
On the sand, is it still dark at this stage?
Yeah, it's pretty dark. And I was standing around with a lot of the people from my swim club, the Positive Swim Club, and they were all laughing. The experienced swimmers were, and I think a few others were too. They were laughing and being real jovial, and I was just, I was shitting myself.
Yeah, you would have been. I imagine you would have been in your head because this is the moment. 6 months plus training has come to. Yep.
But knowing that as soon as we get down there, it's just on. I've just got to go, and I've got to put it all out of my head. So it's really stressful. Really stressful.
Yeah, well, it's the game day. All right, so what, then the siren or something goes?
Yeah, the first group went off. I was in the second group. My friend Pete, who was my paddler, he couldn't find me. So I was drifting around in the water for quite some time.
So you're stationary? Or are you still swimming?
Oh, no, I swam to it and I just couldn't find him, right? So I kept swimming with the pack a little bit and then I'd stop, swim a little more, and then he was nowhere to be seen. So I was kind of breaststroking a bit. And I was calling out to the safety crafts that are around, and these guys came over in a rubber ducky. I said, I can't find my kayak. And there was another lady who was kayaking who was part of our swim squad, actually. She was looking after someone else. She was trying to help me too.
Yep.
They were yelling out to my friend in just in the middle of the ocean.
And he was just looking for the wrong group because you said you're in the second wave. He saw 2 waves in the first wave because they kind of split, and he was looking for you in the wrong pack. Yeah,
he did. So he ended up a lot further out, but I thought he must have been a lot further in. So eventually I saw the boat that I was with, and I was waving my arms like, I was drowning, really. I was just going, I was making as much noise as I could and swimming towards them, waving my arms again till they spotted me. And then I was able to get to them and said, look, I don't know where Pete is. I've got no idea. And we kind of fluffed around. I said, what do I do? And I swam a little bit more, and they said, well, keep looking for him, put a call out in the radio. And eventually he came to me. I was pretty calm in that situation because I knew there's nothing I could do. Hopefully we'll find him soon. I guess the only thing I was thinking, geez, I've lost so much time. But I was calm knowing that I've got to still swim. It doesn't matter. When he gets here, we're off and we're going to keep swimming.
And what were the conditions like at this point?
Yeah, I felt that they were really ugly, but at that stage I'd zoned in and I wasn't really concerned. I was in the water. I'd had to deal with it, and I just had to concentrate on what I was doing, which the first port of call was swimming 30 minutes before I had a break and had a drink.
So you're just thinking little steps like we heard from some of our guests on the podcast.
Yeah.
The little steps rather than thinking 19.8 Ks.
Well, I kept saying to myself, stay in the moment constantly. And then there was it's just amazing how many things go through your mind because you've got to fill that 30 minutes till you stop. And I'm seeing a lot of people's faces, work colleagues, family and friends who've supported me, all these different messages that I've got along the journey with
In your
people's
head?
support. Yeah,
That's
you're saying it
nice.
over and over. My cousin Luke had sent me a message the night before, which I saw and also read it in the morning just over again, and that was there's no p***s in the Hall of Fame. And you don't get the RCS number plates for being soft.
Yeah, all right. I think, okay, that's much different. My text to you was more like, win, lose or draw, I love you, Shauny, got your back. Whereas you needed to hear, you reread something like that.
There's no pussies in the Hall of Fame. I kept thinking about that the whole time.
Jeez.
And, and there was just moments, there was, Kindman was always, once you're in it, you'll never regret it. Just got to keep your head down, keep staying with it. Another guy who's helped me a lot with my swim stroke, Paul, he was telling me, he would say stuff like, you've got to become a diesel engine, be a diesel. I just kept saying, there's little pointers that can kind of bring you back down to, because at the time, Ross, you're so far out. And, we talked about the sharks at some stage, and that's obviously something that's always going to be in your mind. But to distract you as much as possible from what's happening, you really have to think about these other keys and these other pointers. Is my hand going in the ocean the right way? Am I getting a strong stroke in? Am I being soft? What's happening at the end? I'm not going to disappoint Ross. He sent me a message. Yeah. All the rest of it.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
All right, so you're going for a while. Were you swallowing water? How'd you go with your first 30 minutes?
Yeah,
Did you feel the conditions changing?
There was a couple of times when I did. I went through a couple of big swells. I didn't know. I knew they were big because I just went up, and I remember swearing. My paddler at the time was like, "Are you right?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, it's swell." Because I just went right out. There was a number of times where I could only get 3 or 4 strokes in, and then I was just kicking because I couldn't even throw my arms up because the swell was going high.
Yeah.
But all that said, I wasn't actually looking too much ahead. It was difficult to have a drink at times. I was swallowing water a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just kind of tried to get on I faced away. I faced back to the land, back to Cottesloe, and I was trying to drink that way. In fact, I had these little bottles made up. They were 250 mils, which I was trying to drink, but I ended up discarding them and having a proper big Powerade that we'd have because they have those squeezy ends on them, so I could just suck them in and stop taking the water. And
at any stage were you aware that the conditions are getting rough, or any stage you're like, oh, this... Because obviously we know it gets called off, but did you think anything like that before it happened?
No.
Okay. All right. So
I can't say that I didn't dream of this was going to end very shortly. I'd be lying if I said no. Yeah.
Let's just go to the point where before they pulled you out, before you knew it was getting cancelled, where were you at mindset-wise and how far in were you? So what, you were around 8 Ks or so?
No, so I got to, it was nearly 9.2 Ks I'd swum, and I said to my mate Chucky, how far have I got? And he said, you're about 9.2, I think it was. And I was swimming for half an hour breaks, and I remember going, okay, well, half an hour, I'm going to be closer to the 11K mark. So I had my drink, and I just took off. And I can't remember how long I swam for, maybe 20 minutes. And then...
at this stage, you're like, I can do this?
Yeah, but I was staying... I can do this. I think that was going to get closer to, once I got to 12 to 14, I think that I would have got stronger and stronger in my mind.
Yep.
At that stage, all I was trying to do is stay with the 30-minute block. All I have to do is make another 30 minutes. Then I get to stop down. We have a chat, have a quick drink, and then I'm going to go again for 30 minutes. So I wasn't really thinking that far ahead. But once we started the 30 minutes and however long I swam for, and then my mate Jimmy... out of nowhere, he just tackled me in the water. So he jumped in,
really,
to grab me, and because I couldn't hear.
So
if I couldn't hear, so the paddlers and that yelling at me wouldn't have made a difference. And he just said, "You're done." And I was really shocked. I was like, "No, I'm going better than that, mate. I'm going okay."
So you thought he was just trying to stop you?
Yeah.
There's nothing bad going on.
Yeah. And he said, "No, it's been called off unless you've got to the 14K mark." And then I was like, I've swum too slow. I was really, I swum too slow. You're kidding me. And I was feeling embarrassed. There was a bit of embarrassment, far out. But by the time I got back into the boat, the realisation that everyone had stopped and everyone had been pulled out and the race was over. That was relief.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, a bit of relief. Explain your mental thoughts in that moment.
Well, that means that I didn't give up.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
if everyone had stopped, then no one beat me and I didn't lose to the event.
Yeah. You can be proud of what you did. And were you feeling disappointment that it was cancelled, or what else is going through your head?
Oh, it's a real tough one. I was thinking, oh my God, I haven't achieved what I set out to achieve. And I don't know if other people admit this, but there's a bit of your mind and stuff going, thank God, that's over.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to see what it's all about.
Yeah.
Now I go back to the stage where I don't know what I'm made of when I get to 12Ks. How am I going to react when I get to 14Ks? I'm convinced once I get to 16 or 17Ks, then there will be a different person, and that will be a really positive person.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, from where I was to getting to that spot, how was I going to perform? How was I going to react? How was I going to keep myself on task? That's the part that still worries me, I guess.
All right. And the solution to having a cancelled Rotto swim, what's the plan now, Shaun?
Well, the Port to Pub's coming up in it's 3 weekends' time, and at no stage after the race was I really thinking, am I going to swim this solo? Because I'm really, really keen to stay with my mates from footy. We race against the West Coast Eagles in the Port to Pub every year.
Yep, it's
and
a tradition
great
you
fun.
guys do.
Yeah, it's a tradition, and it's really great fun, and you're sharing with all these people.
And 4 of you, team of 4 or something like
We
that.
actually do 6 now,
Ah.
with the guys, which is
Easy.
fantastic. Yeah, so I was really looking forward to that. And as the night went on, and as the next day came around, everyone's saying, if you don't do it in 3 weeks' time, you're going to have to wait a whole year.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to train for another 6 months. So you're going to have to train 6 months instead of 3 weeks. And the reality is I'd probably train more.
Yeah. And you're in the condition that you needed to be at that stage. So it seems from an outsider like a logical decision. If you're going to do it, that's the time.
Yeah, so last night about 4 o'clock I got on and I registered, paid the nearly $400 to register.
Conway didn't give you a discount?
She doesn't need to. She looks after me in all the ways possible with swimming lessons all the time. So I'm very grateful to Connie. But I did ring her and she said, mate, if you're ever going to do it, you got to do it now.
Yep.
You got to. Because you procrastinate, it'll go by. Because the other thing is you don't know what you're going to be like next year. Are you going to be injured? Are you going to still be kicking? Because some people's lives change dramatically inside of weeks and years and months.
Yep.
Here's an opportunity for you to take it back on, and I've done that. I'm still nervous.
Mm.
I know it's the right decision, Ross, but it was tough to fill out the form, mate.
Yeah, I'm really glad you did this because I feel like I've come on this journey with you, and I want to see you hit that goal you've achieved, you set out to achieve. And the Road to Rottnest podcast will continue.
Yeah, let's do it.
For another couple of weeks. Shauny Mac, thank you.
Get on your Roscoe. Cheers.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.